Connally just continues to melt the scoreboard. They have scored 112 points in impressive wins over Mexia and La Vega. So Kiefer Sibley is running all over the place. We've learned the quarterback's name. He is Jamarion Vincent, and he's playing well. And, Kobe Black making plays both sides of the ball. He's a good receiver as well as a DB. So here's my question. Can this Connally team make it to Jerryworld? Not familiar territory for Connally.
I think they can. I think where Connally has an advantage that China Spring is missing is that they do have a ton of seniors and a ton of third, fourth year varsity players.
Sure.
And it's not just, Kiefer Sibley and Kobe Black. They've got a lot of experienced offensive line players, a lot of experienced defensive players, some wide receivers in there that are, doing just as much and maybe not getting as much attention as some of the other guys, the highly touted recruits. And but what I think is good for Connally about having guys like Sibley and Kobe Black who are kind of taking up this attention is they are going to get attention from D1 coaches all over the place that are going to come to Connally and see how they play and then see how the rest of the team plays, and that'll be kind of a boost for those guys as well. And I think that it's a pretty good team and they're going to make it pretty deep.
Yeah.
The thing you have to consider when you ask if Connally can get there is who they have to go through to get there, right?
Sure.
And one advantage that they have in that respect is that Carthage is over there in region 2, and Connally's in region 3. They got the Cuero Gobblers in their region, so that's something to look out for. One thing about it, and Connally has started off great, and then the other thing, and this is like a belief that I sort of nurtured over the weekend with my favorite team going down in the season opener, and of course people around here can relate as their teams have struggled to start. But really, it's kind of like, in bowling, if you ever get a ham bone in bowling, right, you get 4 strikes in a row, you've turned your whole game around. And college football is kind of like that, you get 10 frames plus a couple of bonus frames, right? So if you can, and I said college football, but high school football too, you get 10 frames. If you can ever just put together 4 frames in a row, you've shifted, you've improved your position greatly, right? So Connally is kind of started there. Who knows what happens against China Spring next week? But then they've got that ability to gain momentum through the rest of the year, playing good teams, but teams they can handle. Yeah,
no doubt. I think, clearly they're the district favorite in their district. And, Chad, you make a good point about, who you have to still go through in the 4A Division II playoffs. There's no slouches out there. I was looking at Texas football's kind of preseason, top 10. And as DJ said, one thing that Connally has going for them is the experience factor. Because you look at, Texas football lists the team and lists their record from last year. And then they list returning starters, and you go down the list, and Carthage has 6 and 5 back, and Silsby has a lot back. But most of the teams in that top 10, which they had Connally as number 9 coming in, into the season, don't have as many starters coming back as Connally does. They had 9 on offense, 7 on defense. That's good experience, and then some other key guys that had playing time too. So it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of put it together. I think we'll learn a lot too in that game against China Spring. So because obviously you're going up against a team that knows how to win state, so should be fun.